Thanks for watching this. This is just a little reflection on cracking the code. If you watch the teaching video that we've got, that's kind of 20 minutes thing, have a look at that. Because what we see within that, I just want to take us a little bit deeper into one of the things, is that there's this great story that Jesus tells. It's obviously a fundamental story, really important story. It's about growing things, So thankfully, I don't have to bother growing things because that's plastic, by the way. But he talks about where the seed falls and the soil that the seed falls into, and he says this thing. And I just want to reflect on this a little bit more. So there's 4 types of soil, and there's one where the seed does grow, but then gets overtaken by other things. And Jesus explains it like this. Still others, like seed sown among thorns, hear the word, but the worries of this life, the deceitfulness of wealth, and the desires for other things come in and choke the word, making it unfruitful. And so I've seen that, noticed that, because I know people that are like that. People that have heard the word, heard the truth, heard the good news, and responded positively to it, but then have decided that other things get in the way. And there's all sorts of things that get in the way. Jesus describes them as being, what does he say? The deceitfulness of wealth, the worries of this life, the desires for other things. And that can take all sorts of manifestations, all sorts of ways you could see that. But I've seen it, and it's sad, because what happens is people move from being fruitful to being unfruitful because of all these things that get in the way, these thorns, these things, these weeds that get in the way. And it does make me sad, actually. So what does this tell us about Jesus? It tells us that Jesus wants us to be fruitful. He really wants us to not worry about those kind of things and to be fruitful. And so, in fact, he even says this. This is in his manifesto speech, the Sermon on the Mount. He says this, it's only a little phrase, really. He says, seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and he will give you everything you need. So you don't have to worry about the worries of this life or the deceitfulness of wealth or whatever, because he'll give us those things if we seek him and his kingdom. So I think that's something that we as people need to respond to. We could be people that get crowded out, where God gets crowded out of our lives, or we could try and seek him. And that's how I think I'd like to respond to this. Seek God. Seek God above all things. Don't let other things get in the way. Certainly that's one of the things I've learned from this. And that's something that we can all do, can't we? What do you think? Thanks for watching.